What's up, guys? I'm back. Another video here today. Beautiful San Diego sunset behind me. It's like cloudy and like there's boats in the water. Like you can see it. Look at that sunshine. Look at that sunshine. Crazy cool. I had to shoot a video. Wasn't even sure what I was going to talk about, but I decided to just talk about the subject of bad habits and why we do them sometimes against our better judgment. And I'm going to throw out my example. For me, it's drinking. Now, I didn't drink, but I would say for the first time since I got sober, I was highly debating it. Like 9 out of 10 really felt like I wanted to drink, despite every bone in my body telling me that, oh, it's a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. Don't you remember all the shit that drinking got you into? But for a brief moment in time, man, I legitimately almost forgot, and I almost wanted to just throw away all my progress and just do the thing. And for me, I'm going to throw out like drinking and alcohol, but for some people it might just be like eating that donut or just you know, something not so serious. But I think a lot of this stuff is applicable either way, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Kind of just what went on in my mind. Like I was at the airport, and I was at the airport early, so I had time to kill before my flight, and that in itself might have been a little bit of a mistake. Didn't sleep too well last night, so my motivation, discipline was a little bit lower than normal. And I think just I'm about 114 or 15 days sober right now, so closing in on like the 4-month mark, and the initial high of sobriety and like proclaiming myself as like sober, just not drinking anymore, some days kind of feels like it's wearing off. And then it's just, I guess in my like subconscious brain, I still remember like just that quick hit of dopamine and pleasure and endorphins from just picking up a drink. And I was at the airport, and I passed by this Pizza Hut with like an open bar. And I remember literally all I was thinking about for a split second was like how nice it would be to just get a seat at that bar, down a couple beers, maybe a couple shots before my flight, and just you know, take the edge off, get that little hit, that little good feeling, and just a little buzz before my flight, before my trip to San Diego. I used to just love getting drunk and going on trips and just seeing what would happen when I was drunk, partially because I don't know, it was just a really bad habit. And it's absolutely crazy. If you know like anything about me and my drinking and what drinking got me into and what it's cost me, for me to even entertain those thoughts, it's embarrassing and shameful to even say or like talk about. But I legitimately felt like I wanted to drink. So then I sat there and I had this like weird moment where like, oh shit, I should probably like walk away from this. So I removed myself from the situation, which was a good thing. I had my journal with me, which was also a good thing. So I journaled about it for a little bit, and I don't know, I journaled about how I felt, and you know, it was really cool. Like for me in like drinking, no one's ever gonna like force some alcohol down my throat. It's ultimately going to be my decision, which is good, because sometimes you can scare yourself about like going back down that horrible cycle of just abuse and drinking and just losing yourself in like getting lost in the bottle, as I say. But at the end of the day, the only one who's going to like make that decision is you. And you know, I was like, oh man, I really legitimately just kind of felt like, and it's so crazy to talk about because I had to like reorient myself. I had to remember all the pain associated with drinking, all the shame associated with drinking, all the relationships I burned to the ground, all the people I lost. Who knows what kind of damage I've done to my health. I probably would have been in much better shape and much better health if I had never even started drinking to begin with. I'm not in horrible shape, but I guarantee I'd be feeling much better if I was just sober from the get-go. And it's amazing just how, despite this overwhelming amount of knowledge and logic and reason and purpose and, you know, like just reasons why we shouldn't do a certain behavior or habit or act a certain way or do a certain thing, even though we have all that information, sometimes we still get triggered to like want to do it. For me, it's drinking. For you, it might be a donut. For you, it might not be telling people you love them when you really do. Or, you know, it goes really deep, and there's so many different levels of this. And it's just kind of funny. Being human is just kind of funny sometimes. Not really sure where I'm going with this video yet, but it was just such a surreal experience to me, because literally I felt like I was like legit just about to just drink. And even though there was so much that like happened to me. And like I even reviewed like my journal where I like talked about, like I have journal entries from like the miserable days when I was just like lost in the bottle, like super depressed and borderline suicidal and just legitimately hated my life. And I have entries there like, or like, you know, in March, and then more entries in like September of that year, and then the next January. And then like I realized like, wow, this was like a hard habit for me to fucking kick. And it took me so much effort, and I just was just dumbfounded that I even entertained the thought of throwing it all away just for a momentary buzz that would last a couple hours. And then I'd have all the shame of dealing with like having the conversations like, oh shit, I relapse, I relapse, whatever. And then the shame, and then the disappointment that I would put myself through if I let myself slip up like that after all the progress I made. And then just the fact that I was willing to entertain just surrendering my power effortless, like just surrendering it almost willingly, was the crazy part. And this is why addiction is just crazy, man, because it's like, and I found this out, like your subconscious mind is 70% of your brain, and that's where all like your addictive behaviors, patterns, routines get stored. And then the 30% of it is the logical, straightforward side of you, like the you that's like me recording this video right now, me logically talking through all the things that I thought. And it's just amazing how just sometimes, even though we know we really, really shouldn't do that thing, we can be so tempted to do it, and sometimes even do it. Like I'm so glad I did not like relapse today, because I was pretty close, guys. Like I don't know, I felt like I just really wanted to drink, which was so crazy. And I don't know, man, it's crazy, because literally it's like the last thing I ever want to do again because of what it's cost me. But it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just part of being human that sometimes we still want to do the things we know are bad for us, whether it's eating that donut or just, you know, talking to that girl or boy or whatever you're into, dating that person, staying at that job, just entertaining these relationships with people in our lives that we know are not good for us. You know, not pursuing our dreams, not living up to our full potential, not eating as healthy as we should be. And there's just so many things we do as people that we know we shouldn't do. And I think where I'm going with this video is I just want you guys to know that you are literally not alone. Everybody low-key kind of crazy and kind of entertains doing some dumb shit we know is not good for us. But the important thing to take from this is that at the end of the day, the decision is yours to make, and I just hope you make the right one like I did today. See you guys on the next one.